Good. Oh, actually, I just remembered something. Hmm. Where are my past broadcasts that I'm looking for at the moment? Right. And I want to do the same. On my YouTube channel. Ah. YouTube Studio, I think this is how I get to it. Live. This is the one. 0 use, amazing. Change it to unlisted. Private, probably. Better choice. Okay. Let's make it private. I forgot I accidentally showed what I wasn't supposed to show. And during the stream. Right. Back to whatever I was doing. So yesterday I stopped extend bot. I just finished formulating the invoice. Okay. Now I'm missing something else. Huh. Yeah, I guess I can just have where's the new bot? I mean, spaghetti code. Spaghetti code. I'm missing this thing. People SDK configure. To run it, I have to run it somewhere in here, I guess. People client ID. That is coming from Singleton. Let's take this out of here. Hopefully that's gonna work. Okay, we should import this. Done. Tell client secret. And what's about? Oh, there is people client ID. Done. Tell client. Oh, I missed. Okay, there's a typo. Client. Client secret. Can rename this. Client. Okay. Now it should be good. I don't think I do I don't think I need to do anything else. Live. Change this to sandbox for now, just for testing. Kinda need to remember. Yeah, I don't even remember how to connect to that sandbox account now. Probably look for that. Well, sandbox. Sandbox account. In. Because I think it's done. Well, it should be done. It has all the steps, at least for extending all of the bots. Right. But I need to log into PayPal and see if I can actually find those invoices. PayPal, login. Okay, sandbox accounts, I have a few, it seems. View notifications. Past 30 days. Okay, let's try creating an invoice and see if I can find it. Oh, this is spaghetti code. Right. Where is it? It has no attribute PayPal client ID. Doesn't it? Like it does. Right. Client ID. Singleton object has no PayPal client ID. Seems a little bit odd. Maybe I should do it in the singleton itself. I've done it originally in the, well, when everything was in one module. I've done it in the global scope. Yeah, this shouldn't... Maybe the assignment is not done. No, the assignment is done. XP people client ID, which is definitely in the file. Am I reading wrong file? Isn't config. Do not show on stream news, so this is the one. Huh. Morning coffee. Oh yeah, I should have posted that I'm going live. The Discord. Right. That's done. Bot. Object has not with people. Okay, let's take a look at what thing is. Really sound right. That it has issues here. Yeah. Oh, it's not initialized? Or do I have properties hidden? Function. Special variables. Doesn't look like it's actually... Oh, it says that's a singleton object. But that singleton object doesn't seem to have the properties. These are all methods. Or are they? Beam handler. And this is odd. Guess I can make it part of the singleton initialization. But Hey, hello. Morning. Oh. How's your day so far? I am having an odd issue. I'm not really sure how to solve. Check config. You had a test? Didn't go that well. Oh. Why? No, sure, pass. Okay, so I guess that's all that matters. So that you would get a passing grade. Did your setup work with your friend? Where he was looking up and giving you hints? Let's see. Because, yeah. That seemed like a very convoluted solution. Now that setup is for n terms. I see. This was the test. Okay. Well, what's the difference? Pardon my ignorance, but it seems like you should be able to use the same system in all the tests. Oh, the time was the issue, yeah. Yeah, sometimes they don't give you much time. I guess it's one way to make sure that people know what they are doing. Terms and tests are held on different online platforms. Does it matter for your setup? I thought he just sees your screen and that's it. So it doesn't really matter what platform you're taking the test on. Should I do this? This should be done only once. I can't risk it. The one on the test is quite secure. The one with the end terms is quite easy to cheat. I see. Okay. Well, that's good, I guess. It's good that if you're not cheating all of your tests. Right, I don't really understand how can I initialize this? People rest as the SDK. I guess I could make it, set it up multiple times. Something. Not sure if it will actually matter. Oh, maybe after init. Big file. Doesn't actually update, load the configuration here. Yeah, init is separate. Huh. So init config and then I check config. I guess I can just do it here, as I did before, but no, I don't have variables. Oh no, actually when the configuration is initialized, I actually can do it here. Shouldn't be an issue. Right. Sorry, I was thinking about my issue on the hand. The one now everyone is spamming to teachers to retest because time was too too little time. Yeah, I guess. Well, I guess they picked the amount of time that was necessary. Well, that should be barely enough if you knew all the answers right off the bat. Did my part. Oh, you also spammed the teacher in protest. 60 questions in 1 hour, really? Well, depends, I guess. Depends on the questions. If the question takes more than a minute to read through, then yeah, I guess that's a fair point. But you need to take into account if you knew everything. If it just took you like how much time you would need if you knew the answer to read through the question and well, imagine if it's a test, it's a multiple choice, so to read the question and pick the right answer. Seems like an hour should be doable. So like reading a question in 30 minutes in 60 seconds, that sounds reasonable, at least to me. If you're going to cheat and look for an answer, then yeah, that might be an issue. I think if I knew the answer, I would not be able to do it because it had numericals too. Well, you had to do some calculations. Yeah, maybe in that case. Because 1 minute isn't that. Well, 1 minute per question is not too terrible. But yeah, if you need to calculate something, then yeah, it might be. Yeah. Around 15 minutes? Oh, 15 questions. Yeah, if you need to calculate, yeah, that's a little bit much. Let's see, where do I use that singleton? I use it here. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay. Okay, time to test if it actually works. Okay, hopefully it starts now. It did, nice. Mark, hey, I need your help. Hi, well, what kind of help? I don't mind helping. connected. Right, and this finally someone on YouTube. Yeah, well, it happens from time to time. Sometimes Twitch is just bad, so you know, YouTube has a more stable stream. Okay, this is working, but it has quite a significant delay, so, well, as you know yourself. Okay, list bots, extend all 4 weeks. Email. I wonder if it will like that I use my own email. One of my trash emails. And it crashed. Unauthorized access failed. Invalid client. Client authentication. Oh, so I think it needs to be live. Yeah, well, if I want to send to sandbox, I need to use different credentials. I can't use the same client ID, client secret. Okay, let's try doing it with live PayPal. See what happens. The delay is bad. It is not noticeable in the start, and then slowly accelerates to a very large value. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess it is what it is. Can't really be helped, I guess. So when this extension will be working, hopefully today I will finish off with extending .com, and then I can move on to it's not JSON serializable. People unit price. Oh, that's not good. How come it's not serializable? Let's see. What singleton? Canva. Well, I'm still waiting on the question. What kind of help? Oh, I don't really see the chat. History chat. Chat history on YouTube. Hopefully I didn't miss the question. Right. So the price, the unit price, not JSON serializable. Can you help me with one Python project? Sure. What kind of help you need? Did not pose the question. Yeah, okay. Quarky. I commented, are they getting deleted? Oh, did you comment? I don't think I have a chance to see. If you post a link, then yeah, links will be deleted. Let's see. Look at the chat. Yeah, it doesn't show the messages that got deleted. Laggy. Let's see, you can come and try posting on Twitch. Please, I've been seeking for past 2 months. That's YouTube stuff. Yeah, probably there's an issue with YouTube. Try coming on Twitch. Not sure how. I don't think there's a link from YouTube to Twitch. There's a link on Twitch to YouTube. So I want to automate a word game in which players come up with words that begin with a letter or letters that the previous word ended with. Okay. Well, doesn't sound too complicated. Oh, you posted. Okay, well. It might be deleted because I don't really see the link. Yeah, that doesn't sound too bad so far. But, let me see. I don't remember where I actually set up the What's its name? Nightbot? Nightbot TV? Could this be it? Login. Twitch? Actually, okay. I am logged in. Now, how do I set up? What commands? Spam protection. Links. I think I can set up links. YouTube, Twitter, Reddit. Okay, so I need to add GitHub. Submit. So GitHub links should be working now. Don't do it. What's with spam? No, GitHub. I just whitelisted more websites, because if you have a project, you probably have it on GitHub, and if you want to share a link to the project, like, it makes sense to have GitHub available. But I think there are two separate bots for each platform. This one is for YouTube, because this is my YouTube logo, and I think I have to use another browser. Nightbot TV. Change it to Twitch one. Well, I can't change it here. I have it open on another browser now. So this is on this should be the Twitch one, if I remember correctly. Okay, where's my spam protection? Links, options, Reddit, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Oh, not Twitch. GitHub.com. Okay, so you can now link GitHub projects. You should be able to post links to GitHub projects. Because there is a text file with 400,000 vocabulary words. Okay. Well, that's fine. We underestimated. Underestimated what? Only every time can help me. Well, I can try. Sure, there's plenty of people that can help. So, okay. So I understand the principles. Understand what you're trying to make. I don't really see what the issue is yet. Seems quite a simple problem. At least so far. Not serializable. Second, well, well, I guess until I get the more details, I'll keep looking into this. Unit price. Oh, it's an instance. So why did I do it like this? Okay, see what I did wrong. Did you see the new Linus video where he solved the problem of bots on YouTube? I haven't watched any Linus videos in a long time, so I haven't seen that one as well. I think you can post. Don't remember. I just watched. I just checked. I think YouTube links are whitelisted, so you can actually send. Yeah, YouTube is #1, so you can link the video. I'll save it for future viewing. I watch too many YouTube videos as is, but usually I watch about politics. I applied for a GoDaddy internship 2 days ago. Looks like they are not interested. Yeah, I'm starting to think the same about Discord. I imagine they have enough applicants that don't live in Europe. I want to automate that game so if bot asks word from starting with N and 10 letter, my automation should be able to identify an N letter and throw into a chat 10 plus words. You mean 10 letter, 10... Well, the word will be of length of at least 10 letters. I want to automate that game. So if bot asks word from starting with letter N, I imagine, and 10 letter, because that doesn't sound... It's hard to tell, at least for me personally, what it actually means. Starting with N, so assume with... and 10... I imagine 10 is the length, so they are, well, the words starting with letter N would be of at least length, well, 10 letter length. So you can give two arguments, from what I understand. One argument is the letter it starts with, and the other argument is the length of the word, right? So what asks a word on Telegram? Your word must start with an N and include at least 10 letters. Okay. On Telegram, that's interesting choice of a platform. I guess that's fine. Seems if you manage to interact with Telegram, it shouldn't be an issue to solve the rest. Because to me it sounds like you just need a dictionary and that's it. Maybe have So is the length of the word you want is variable, or you always want at least 10 letters in the word? So you want like you only are interested in the words that are 10 letters or longer, or you can actually change that depending on the situation. Because if you're not interested in different lengths, can you GitHub 4,000 words? Well, sure, why not? Like it's just a file with names. I don't see any issue with that. Well, it will be a long file. It would be annoying to open manually and review it. But like 4,000 lines with one word per line, like what would be the size of that thing? Like 5 megabytes, something like that. Let's see, if you take a look at this program, which is pretty much 1,000 lines of code, my spaghetti, and we take a look at its size, I doubt it's over a megabyte. Properties, yeah, it's just 41,000 bytes. So what is like 40 kilobytes? So yeah, it's you're nowhere near a megabyte. Well, you need to multiply by 400, I guess. But your words will be a lot shorter because this is code, so some lines are a lot longer than one word. So yeah, maybe a couple of megabytes. So I don't see any issues with having 4,000 words in a document. Read list. I think if you need to convert the text files to a dictionary or a list of words. There's a virtual player also attached to that bot. He is automated. He answers only when bot asks him. I want to automate like him. Some people have done it. Please help. So what have you done so far? That would be the question. Yeah, Risk is right. You need to convert it into a dictionary, and then when you have a dictionary, then it's easy to just go through the dictionary and list whatever you want. And yeah, that open statement looks about right. And you can use random file, yeah. Yeah, you can do that. Get random 10 words. So when you read list of words, first word, what does read 5 mean? I have contacted more than 300 plus guys, but no one could have helped me for past 3 months. Yeah, but you don't give enough information so far. Like, do you have a GitHub project? It's my aim, please help me. Oh, well, I am willing to help you, but I still don't understand what kind of help you need. Like, you have a problem. What have you? What's your current situation? What have you done so far? Do you have the dictionary? Do you have that file with a bunch of words? What have you done so far? I think I found an appropriate Stack Overflow link. Could you enable it? Oh yeah, Stack Overflow is another one I should enable. Let's see, this is... No, I just want to play bot. What is there on Telegram? Oh, so the bot is on Telegram. So the bot doesn't actually, well, the application you're writing will not be interacting with Telegram itself. You will be asking it or something. So you will be consulting your own bot when you're interacting, like playing with a bot on Telegram. That's right, that's it. Am I getting it right? Reddit, GitHub, Stack Overflow. Probably check how it's spelled. Or I do. Thought I had it open somewhere. Okay. Stack Overflow. Right. That's phone links. This split. Yes, it doesn't really matter. Okay, HTTPS it is. Okay, you can post links to Stack Overflow now. So you just want some helpful application that will help you play the bot on Telegram, right? Do I understand it correctly, or I'm misunderstanding something? Because it's very important to understand, like, you, well, in order for me to help, I need to fully understand what's the situation. Because you're just giving bits and pieces, like, there's 4,000 words, there's, I wanted to have a way to get a word, a list of plus 10 words when I give a letter, it should start with. So, which is fine, but that's not really enough, like. Questions? Why are you posting the part of the link? What happened to the Stack Overflow part? Is this from Stack Overflow? Seems like it is. I mean, technical guys want them to read a list of 10 words from a text file and then randomly display 9 of them in a 3x3 grid. I hate Stack Overflow questions like that. Very specific and many things combined into one. But it doesn't really matter. So you get a read list, which is a file. So read list read 5. What the hell is 5? I don't get it. Doesn't make sense. Yeah. Clarky. Not sure what the, well, how to say that name. Yeah, this looks much more understandable, reasonable. Read split. I think if you don't give any parameters to split, oh, so read 5, that reads 5 lines. Okay. It will be deleting my comments. Okay, that's not good. What do you? Oh, what kind of comments? Are you commenting links to some website? But let's skip the last part. Yeah, well, that's obvious. This part is not really needed. This is the interesting part. Well, it reads 9 words, splits them into sample. The hell is sample? Random sample. Okay. Oh, so this will give you a random word. Every time .tv use the dot symbol. Every time, kind of link it. Are you trolling Risk? Click on this channel with trial video. He uploaded the video, please see that. Where is the video posted? I have a problem here, but it deletes. Slim, oh, he uploaded the video. Oh, so this is another guy. Slim, okay. Oh, other streamers use their usernames .tv and redirects them to Twitch. Yeah, I don't have that set up. Oh, I am able to comment on this. I am Clark. Okay. Oh, Clark friend. Yeah, can you explain what's the situation? What is the state of? Well, what have you done so far? Because it doesn't sound like. Well, I imagine if you've been trying it, well, to make it for like 3 months, you should have it done. Well, you should have something done at least so far. Because if you want to go right from the start, then, well, first you need the file with words. Then you need to know how the words are formatted. Are they in one long string? Are they separated by anything? Is each word in separate line, and so on? Because that's where you would start, like with the format of the data you have. Let's see. So this invoice item price, I need value. Right. So this should be serializable. Can you see the video? I don't see the link to the video. Can you send me the link? If it's, well, if it's not on YouTube, you won't be able. Oh, by clicking on Clarky. Okay, let me find the. A second. Well, sending a link would be much more convenient. Let's see. Clarky. I don't really have a way to get to him from here. Okay, let's go to YouTube and see if I can watch my own stream. Because I don't really have a good way to do this. Okay, this is the live stream. Okay, mute it so I wouldn't be listening to myself. Clicking on Clarky, I can't click on him, it doesn't do anything. So yeah, I can't click on anyone. Did you make a comment or anything? How am I supposed to click on? Is it here? Oh, go to channel. Okay, so this is okay. I found it. And we have a loop. Okay, trial. Okay, let's see. Let's watch the video. And I can close this now. Word chain. Okay, that sounds. Is there any sound? Players. Hydrogenated is accepted. Okay, well, the video is fine, but it doesn't really show me anything. That's well, yeah, I see the bot. So ON9 bot, or whatever its name. Yeah, it's hard to see. Like there's well, very little you can see at one time. Like you can see two messages, which is very annoying to view. But yeah, that's okay. That's ON9 bot. He is a virtual player. I thought it was the bot who's managing the game. And it says that Slappy. I imagine that's one of the players. It's his turn. So we just ask for a board with given parameters and then verifies if it's present in the board list and starts again. So I want to automate like him. What part do you want to automate? Like you want to make a clone of this game bot? Sends random text. Oh yeah, I can see that's that's the game. So you want to make a clone of this game. Is that right? Am I misunderstanding something? Because I don't really understand what you're trying to make. You want to automate like this. What does it mean like this? No, I can play like that on that bot only. Don't use words like that and this because it doesn't doesn't help. Doesn't really explain all that much. So what are you trying to make? Like explain me like without referencing anything else. Explain what your application, what do you want your application to do? Because it seems you don't know what you want to make to begin with. So you want a bot to play for you. Okay, that's what you want. That is what of Twitch. This is on another that also the made me read this. Oh, that was kind of funny. So you want a bot that plays for you. Okay. So you have okay. So what have you made so far? Or you just wanting to make it and just that's it. That's all you have. You have an idea. Because first of all, it would be like the first thing to sort out would be how to interact with Telegram, I assume. Because well, you mentioned that this is a bot. Well, this bot is on Telegram. So first of all, you need to figure out how to interact with Telegram, how to post message, how to receive messages, how to be in the right channel, how to join that, and so on. So you need to sort out that part. That will be the difficult part. And picking out a word from a dictionary like that's trivial compared to this. And with Telegram, how to work with Telegram. So if you don't have that part done, like it's not really all that. Well, it won't help you in, all that much that we can sort out an algorithm for reading words from a file into a dictionary and then picking a random one. Or picking some of them. I finally get it. Okay, what are you getting it? Some kind of script I need. You sound like Yoda. Well, I assume English is not your first language, so I shouldn't be making fun of it. Let's see. I was going for Telegram API. So this is where you should start. Telegram APIs. Kinds of APIs for developers. Bot API allows you to easily create programs that use Telegram messages for interface. Build your own custom Telegram clients. You're welcome to use both APIs free of charge. Bot API. So please automate this game for me. Okay, so if you don't have anything, like I don't work with Telegram. I can't make it. Well, I have no idea how to interact with Telegram. I don't use Telegram myself, so that's one issue. The other one, you should start reading this documentation and figure out what is the proper way of making a bot for that. Because and there are like it's quite possible that it won't be well, it's very likely that it won't be possible to automate this, just because the game bot that you want to interact with will have safeguards against bot players. $100 for one script. He can only help, not make scripts. Yes, well, the script, like, it won't be a script at this point. You need an application that authenticates to the Telegram API, joins the right channel, initiates the game in whatever way it's supposed to, with the bot that's like organizing the game, that's running the game. Some people have now. I'm sure that it seems doable. Like I'm not gonna. I have an application I'm writing myself. Like I'm not short of ideas to do for myself. And this doesn't seem like all that interesting of a problem. So I won't be doing that. If you want to do it yourself, this is where you should start. You should start with sorting out, like figuring out the Telegram API. I have done one user bot. Well, then you should ask them how they did it, because I haven't done any bots with on Telegram. The bots I made are on Discord, so I can tell you about Discord API and give you guidance on how to connect to Discord and interact with it, because that's what I do. And Telegram is a completely different application with their own way of doing things. It's not like just because Discord has an API and Telegram has an API, you can translate that knowledge from one to another. You have no coding package. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's what I thought, that you don't really know what you're doing and you just want something to be made. So yeah, that's a tough choice. Well, tough situation. I'm not sure if it's like, yeah, I think that's what they are asking. So there's a very nice where was that link? No. Oh, I just had it open. Where was it? Here it is. This. So this is $200. Well, Risk will make it for $200. So you can ask him. He will figure out the Telegram API. But to give you context, if you don't have any background, so this is kind of a very nice map of what you need to know to be a developer. So to be be able to write applications. So first of all, you need to know how the internet works, and that can, well, that entails like figuring out how HTTP works, how browsers and networking work, DNS, how DNSs work, and hosting. Then you can go into basic front-end knowledge, CSS, JavaScript, HTML. Like, all of these things are very basic things that you need to know regardless of what kind of developer. Then you need some things about operating systems, memory management, process communication, input-output management, and so on. So these are some of the basics you need to know. Then you need to learn a language, programming language, that you can use to manipulate all of this knowledge you accumulated before. Sir, please automate this game for me. Request you. You can request all you want. I can't help you. I can't. Well, I can, but I won't, because it's a dumb problem. To be honest, like, I'm not really interested in writing an application that plays a board game for you. It doesn't sound all that interesting, because what it entails, you don't understand what you're asking. Like, that's the issue. You assume that it's like a couple of lines of code, 10 minutes of work, and it's done. That's not the case. Like, go through this documentation. Okay, let's go at API documentation, just to figure out how to interact with Telegram. So all of these links are different what's the name of it? Damn it, I forgot the name. Not a web page, but they have their own articles, right? So all of these are linking to different articles that you need to read to understand how it works. So even then, hello, Hero X, hello. Raid. Ooh, that sounds exciting. Wasn't expecting that. Thank you for the follow. Wow, 8 viewers. Okay, that wasn't expected. So yeah, I was talking to the guys that are asking for help to make a bot that plays a word game on Telegram for them. Okay, I'm trying to explain that that's not how you actually, like, it's not a trivial amount of work to actually do this. Like, you need to go through this documentation, read all of these articles about different parts of the API with examples, go through them, and then when you have the understanding how this particular API works, then you can start making your own application. So I'm not willing to do that just because someone asked me, because what I'm working on is Discord bots. Oh, there's so many messages. I'm not used to this this amount of messages. It's a 9-year-old kid, I'm sure. Yeah, it sounds like it, but you know, just because someone is young and inexperienced, it shouldn't just disregard them. I should, well, at least I feel like I should make an attempt to explain what's the actual situation. Someone asking you to do it though is a bit much. Yeah, I agree. But you know, some people, well, since they don't have any background in programming, I assume they imagine that programming is very simple, and when you know how to program, then whatever problem you have, you can solve like in 5 or 10 minutes. There are some insane tech savvy people at that age. Yeah, there are. Yeah, they might not know how hard it can be. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain, because just because they have an understanding what they want doesn't mean that that's far from the full picture what the actual amount of work that needs to be done is. Yeah, he thinks hacking someone is like, if you don't have any programming background, sudo doesn't even mean anything to normal people. So it's only like it's only to people like us who are interested in technology, programming, and Linux can understand that. Hard to know, though, to be fair. Yeah, it's not something you come across like in your day-to-day life. So you come across things like that only if you're really interested in that. And I guess you have to start somewhere. So you can't blame them for asking questions. Like, if you're 9 years old and you have no understanding, you see people making applications right and left, and so, you know, it's easy for you to get an impression that it's easily done. Especially if you watch, well, I guess popular media doesn't make an honest effort to show development for what it actually is. Usually, if you see someone developing, you just see like in Matrix, you see just a bunch of windows with floating numbers and so on. Someone's typing in light speed on their keyboard, and then in 5 minutes it's done, whatever the problem was. It's just dumb, in my opinion. Well, in popular media, it's portrayed as very trivial, easy, and fast thing, which is completely false. So you can't blame people for misunderstanding it if they have no background in programming. Yeah, coding in movies is terrible. Yeah, so, you know, and that's where you, well, a regular person who's not into programming, that's where they would get the, I don't even know, any knowledge about programming. Green lines on the monitor and the access granted, that's it. Well, that's how hacking is portrayed. Though it's much better on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube has, well, since it is a more personalized content, and it's more specialized, and yeah, it's easy to make it properly. So I guess if you don't want to read the documentation, yeah, that's actually a good point. You could go look for tutorials on YouTube, how to actually program using Telegram. For example, if I Google for Telegram development, I wonder if I could find anything. Yeah, so how to create a Telegram bot with Python. It's a 20 minutes video, and I'm sure it skims over a lot of stuff, but it will explain to you, like, you need how to get a key, how to authenticate yourself, then how to write application, how to interact with Telegram itself, and so on. So this is where you can start. Then when you have some understanding, then you can customize it or try to apply it in the way you need for your own case. CS Dojo OS, very good channel. Well, I guess that's why he got suggested to me. I don't really watch that much development content myself, so I don't really know who's who on YouTube. I usually just read the documentation itself. I have seen some topics from there. Yeah. Oh, I guess that's why he's getting suggested when people search for stuff. I mean, I'd argue that just following the tutorial word for word leads to tutorial hell pretty fast. Yeah, it does, but it is well, for people who don't really know anything about programming, because my starting point would be going through the API documentation and familiarizing with the capabilities provided through the API. 1.78 million subscribers, damn, yeah, that's, well, if you're good and you do it for long enough, eventually you will accumulate the audience. So, it's kind of understandable, and it's a good measure to see if this channel is worth the time. This, if I may say so. Personally, I spend most of my time googling on a new problem and skimming videos. Yeah, I usually don't do that. My starting point when I'm trying to learn something new is reading the documentation, familiarizing with its capabilities, and then try to piece my own solution. So that's how I usually do it. But for people who have no background in programming, I think videos might seem like a more welcoming, more easier way to start your way, like familiarize yourself with programming in general. So, that's why I'm pointing this out. I'm not saying I'm not saying like this is the go-to way. Like this is, I don't really do this myself. Maybe I watch some higher-level videos where they explain common mistakes, some more advanced concepts. Like yesterday, I was watching a video about graph databases, which is a very interesting subject because I haven't worked with graph databases myself. I don't really understand how it works, and video could be a good medium for that, but not learning the technical stuff, how to write code, in my opinion at least. I think the final approach for him will be going on site like Fiverr if he doesn't want to get into program. Yeah, Fiverr is a good choice if you want something to be made and you're willing to pay some money for that. Yes, as a coding noob myself, I need a video while looking at documentation. Each one helps contextualize the other. Yeah, that is true, because there's a very good link. Like, this is excellent link that Risk shared with me yesterday. So this is basically your path to becoming a developer. So if you want to be a developer, you should be following this path and familiarizing yourself with each of these concepts. And then, well, they are split into like sub-subjects. So yeah, you go through these, familiarize yourself, and then eventually at the end you would be at a level like you would have broad enough understanding, you have enough contextual info that you can just go and read one specific thing without having to, well, you would have enough context to just go and read the documentation of one specific thing you're interested in. Don't forget Godot language, by the way. Godot. I don't even know Godot. Well, I know Go. Well, I don't really. Well, I'm aware of Go. I never coded with Go myself. I mean, it all depends what you really plan to do with development. Though, yeah, this is back-end development, which I am myself. My career was mostly working on back-end stuff, so I would consider myself a back-end developer. So this, looking at this path, I can definitely see that this is quite accurate. And even though, well, you don't need to know each subject in detail, but you need to be at least aware of them. You can go to the home page. There are other paths too. Oh, right. This is just a backend. Yeah. Yeah. This back. Oh. SH. Oh, DevOps, Android, yeah. Okay, I wasn't. I didn't check that. Yeah, but backend is the one I understand the best, since I was working as a Java backend developer before. Godot is the game engine I do my programming in. It has a custom language. Okay, that sounds cool. Yeah, I was about to say Lolgotten does Go.dev as well. Well, you know, if you want to, well, I guess it is a good introduction point to development, working on some game engine, interacting with some game. I've heard of games like that for programmers. I don't think the name was Go though, or Godot. I think it was something else. Just meant that to contextualize what Gotten said. Okay. Well, I think it's clear. I think my message is clear so far. So I'm sorry I can't help you. You will have to either find out, as someone mentioned on Fiverr, someone who's willing to make your bot. Oh. Stand all for. Let's use my trash email. Okay. Oh, wait. There's no attribute show. Oh, okay, right. I didn't. But it seems like I got everything right. The invoice has actually been sent. Don't see any errors. Cool. So for those who are new here, this is what I actually work on at the moment. So I have a Discord bot that is, it is a configuration bot. So it sets up other bots I've made, so to be used. And currently, like, current version looks like this. It's all based on text, and yeah, it works, I guess. But its code was written. Well, it's just a spaghetti code that I'm trying to rewrite into like more decent application. Like, is it possible? Well, it is possible. I can't say it's impossible. The thing you want to make, but it's not gonna be done by me. Either you have to find someone who is willing to do this, or you have to learn yourself how to program an application on Telegram. And well, if you didn't understand my explanation, all I can suggest is rewatch it later in the video and just follow what I'm saying, because I feel like I explained it good enough. I don't think it's worth explaining it again. Right. So this is what I'm actually working on. This is my old application. Like these, I was very new to Python, so this is how a Python noob would code an application. This is what I ended up with. It was one file. It doesn't have any classes. It's all just a bunch of methods. It's basically a script. It's application in a script with terrible. This is just terrible. in multiple ways. So, but it worked. So that's the only upside. And this is the code that is behind this bot at the moment. So this is configuration bot is running this. Well, this code is running this bot. So I'm currently writing a new version, which let's see, is split up now into a bunch of different files. Let's see, let's subtract all of this. So yeah, so this main py is the old program, and new bot is the new version of this the same bot, and I'm remaking it completely with like it's split properly into different modules based on what each module does. I have a small framework I made for myself for menus, so each window is considered a menu. Well, testbot is the one that's running the new code that I'm currently working on. So if I think I stopped it, right? I did. Okay, so I can run it again. Okay, it is running. So this is running the new code, which on top of having a completely new framework. I hate that Hindi is not shown. I have no idea why that broke or how it broke. Whatever. But this now has well, all of these are menus. I have introduced like the buttons because it's something that wasn't available when I was writing this bot. Yeah, so this is a new feature. So it should be easier to interact for mobile users because I have quite a few of those. So instead of having to type in a number, you can just click buttons and so on. And so far I have, well, the functionality that's done. So the language support is done. So I can switch to, let's say, Russian because I can understand Russian. So yeah, you see like localization. Well, the official term for language support is localization. So localization is done. Let's go back to English because it's, well, all the translations in English are done. I think in other languages I'm not completely there yet. But yeah, then I can list the bots I have set up so far. I can claim a bot. That functionality is done. Well, you claim by providing a unique, well, it doesn't have to be unique. Well, basically you provide a link that should be unique to your bot. It doesn't have to be. You can claim multiple bots. Well, in that case you would claim not one, but all the bots that use the same webhook. Webhook is just a link on Discord that applications can post messages to. Well, you assign webhook to a certain Discord room, and then yeah, whatever is posted to that webhook will be shown on that room. So that's how my bots actually work, except this one. Configuration bot works through direct messages. So you message configuration bot, and then you start, like, you get the initial menu, and then you just follow the steps, whatever you want to do. So that's what I'm working on. And currently the functionality I'm working on is extend. I think everything else is done. Yeah, claim bot is done, deleting bot is done, extending is done. So yeah, after I'm done with extending, well, currently I can only extend all, but that's well, not a big issue. Alright, I haven't returned the menu. Okay, what about that? So extend bot functionality, this is the part that actually sends the invoice. Okay, when I'm done with the invoice, I want to go back my cursor. I want to go back to the list of the bots. I think maybe I should go back to the start menu. I don't know, actually. Maybe listing the bots would be the better option. Yeah. Let's see, so where's the list bots? List bots menu here. what's menu? So I need to call this and return, well, it creates a menu at the very end and returns it. So each each method that handles user input creates a menu and just returns it, and the menu has all the necessary stuff for it to be displayed and so on. Coming in a few minutes, going to buy some chocolate. Okay, sounds good. Right. So I'm not sure, well, I've been doing this for a long time, and if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. I'm sure, well, there are plenty of issues still with this code. Many things could be done better. I completely realize that, but it does work, and I don't want to spend too much time refactoring it. So, you know, it is what it is. List bots, and I want to get back to, see, well, the cancel button does the same thing, so cancel button calls list bot menu. Right, this should be fine. Bundle beats, okay, handle email, so after the email is provided, it sends the invoice, and all I need is email menu on, oh, actually, is it the context number? Oh, the user is in the menu itself. Okay, because it needs, each menu needs the user. Oh, oh yeah, return. So this should return the menu, which goes, well, it just shows the list of the menu. Okay, now I can restart it and see if this is actually true. Right. List bots, extend all, let's say 5, and mail. And if this is all good, I should get back to the list of all bots after it's done. Yeah, so after it's done, it returns me back to this list. I guess I can do whatever I need here. Okay, so this is done. So the next thing I need to do is, well, 2 pieces of functionality are missing. If I want to choose one bot to extend, I need to support that. And there is another option if I want to select certain bots to be extended. I want to accept a list of numbers. So let's say I want to extend number 1 and number 2. So these 2 bots only, excluding these 3rd and 4th one. So this is how you would do that. Or if you're just using one, then I can select a number, and that will be the only bot that's going to be extended. So that's not, those parts are not done. It should be quite easy at this point. I guess which one? Extend single bot. Yeah, or extend selected. Right. So this is the one that will be called if I enter some numbers. Well, I guess it will be called with any tag, so I still need to validate that. And this will be if I click on a button with a number. So this will be handling that. Right. And then it will go into validate weeks. No, I think it will be handle setup weeks. So this is the menu that will be taking over after that. Okay. All right. I would like to be done with those 2 functions today, so I can move on to actually creating. So what's not done as well is creating new bot. Well, the menu itself is done, but here you can select which bot you want to create, so that functionality is not done. And when you list bots, if you select which bot, well, whatever bot you select, you should be able to edit them, edit their configuration, so that's not done. So those are two key features that are still missing. All the auxiliary features are done. Well, it will be done after the extension functionality is fully done. What are you complaining about? Did I mess something up? Yeah. Put down a comma randomly in the middle. Right, extend selected. I guess button would be easier, or I just select one bot. I don't have to validate the input in that case, which is nice, I guess. Or plus. Right, so first of all, let's see how I did it, because it's been a couple of days since I wrote this code. LDTV. Or please suggest me something. I suggest, well, what's its name? Fiverr? Go to Fiverr and look for people who are writing applications on Telegram, and yeah, just hire them to make the bot, or learn whatever, well, or start learning programming, I guess. Because I'm not really, well, I haven't written anything on Telegram myself, so I can't really help you there, and I'm not willing to just go off and randomly start learning Telegram's API. Site name, Fiverr. You should be able to just Google it. See, fiverr.com. Yeah, Fiverr. Here it is. It's even suggested the first, well, I guess, of Fiverr. Free service marketplace for businesses. So you can search whoever wants writes bot on Telegram. I wonder if well, I never used this. Yeah, so I will create a Python Telegram bot for you with any functionality. Yeah. So the first choice seems to be, this is exactly what you want. So just go and talk to that guy and see how much it will cost you, and then see if you're willing to spend that money on whatever you want to make. I can't really help you with anything else. If you have no background in programming and you just want someone to make it, like this is not the way to go about this. Going to people on stream and asking them to write that bot for you, that's not gonna work out. Unless you find someone who is actually currently working on a bot for Telegram, then maybe you can convince them to show you an example of how it's done, or just write it for you, because I imagine it won't take that long for them. But yeah, I'm working with Discord, and Telegram is a little bit too far off. Right. 12 weeks. Stand all. Oh yeah, I guess this is what I want. Prices. So first of all, I create a dictionary, then I start with menu context. I guess this part is the same. Yeah, I guess I can, well, I will be refactoring quite a bit. Creating, well, extracting common functionality. Menu items. So yeah, this takes all the menu items. The dictionary. Oh yeah, and this button passes along all of these menu items as a parameter. Right. So I go through all the menu items. Oh, add into a dictionary of prices. That's not right. Does this dictionary get populated? See it. This just initializes the dictionary. Variables of each menu item. Oh. What types? Okay, if what type is not, so this is where I actually populate the prices. I take the price from the helper, get bot price. So this is what the method that goes to the database and selects out the price for that specific type of bot, and that will result to invoice item. So the difference between extend all and extend a single bot will be this for loop. It won't be going through all the menu items. It will only take the specific bot. I guess I get quite a few parameters already. Let's see. I actually create this list of buttons. Get user bots. So yeah, I guess this is where I create all of them. Expiration date, payment ID, type, and name. All of these are passed along. ID, payment ID, bot type, and name. Well, I guess I can skip all of this part in that case. Price per week will be just... Okay, let's do this. So we create a menu context. Debug start. Right, welcome back. How's your chocolate? Let's see. Price per week will be just the value I get from the database, which is I guess this is it. Bot type. They name it like this. Bot type. Right. Sweet. Okay. Well, that's good. I guess that's that's how it should be. Okay, I have my price per week. I guess one line of code is not worth extracting to separate method. Price per week. Yeah, if it's price per week is more than 0. In some cases it can be 0, but yeah, well, it shouldn't ever be 0, but it can be. Setup weeks. Custom input handler. Oh yeah, this is the method that will be called in the end. And what parameters will I assign? This part is the same as well. I feel like I should be able to extract a little bit of common functionality. But let's make it work first, then we can extract it, I guess. Sure, that's a good idea though. Prices actually is not needed here. Yeah, it's a little bit awkward because there are a couple of lines at the beginning that are the same and a couple of lines at the end. Yeah, I guess maybe it's not worth extracting it into a separate method. I think I'll just stick with it for now. But let's see, what this does is creates a menu context with a cancel button. Will be only one button. Right. What is I guess I need to sort out these bot name, payment ID, bot ID. Okay, menu variables, invoice item. So I need to create invoice items. So it could be used further on, create the invoice, populate the invoice. Let's do that. Right, and instead of item fields, we get these values from the parameters. Right. So this is payment ID, if I remember correctly. This is bot name. Like the name of this. What's happening to music? I'm not sure. It should be playing. I can hear it and I see it on OBS. Should be good. Bot name. Oh, payment ID. Not sure why do I need bot ID though. That's needed. Name. This is just used for displaying on the invoice what you're paying for, and the price comes. This price per week is the same. Well, since there's only one bot, I don't need to accumulate the price per week through multiple bots. Okay, so this gives me an invoice item that menu variables. Okay, this is where I initialize it. Guess I can just assign it. Alright. Have it created here. Move it this place. Let's have invoice. Okay. So invoice item will be the only thing. Menu variables. I think this should be it. Setup weeks. Yeah, so then it will go to the whatever you input. Extend bot setup. Yeah, I don't really want to return this. It needs to. Actually, sure. Okay, let's see what it does. Like 80% sure that this is right. How often do you restart your router? Oof. Once or twice a year, maybe? Not even that. Why would I need to restart my router? So now when I press a button, it should give me, yeah, works. It gives me the thing. Oh. Okay, let's see. Make an error. Yeah, okay, so minimum is 34. Let's see, 35. And then the email. Should be getting quite a lot of invoices. So I guess that was it. So now the buttons work, and all I have, the last thing I need to do is to set it up so I can actually extend the specific selection of mods. So 1 and 2, for example. Well, currently this is not implemented, it will crash. So yeah, the object doesn't have show, which is part of the menu. I hadn't restarted in 7-8 months. Yeah, well, it's not something you should be doing regularly. So if you need to restart your router on a regular basis, yeah, that's an indication of a bigger issue. Like it shouldn't be. Yeah, something is wrong with your network in that case. Either the configuration is wrong, or maybe, yeah, the configuration is the only thing that could be wrong. It's either on your side something is misconfigured, or your ISP is doing something odd that your router doesn't really expect. Or maybe your router is hacked and yeah, it's being malicious some way. So that is cool, that is done. Actually, yeah, it was easier than I expected. And the last thing I need is extend the selection. Selection will be very similar to this. I think it would work if I just call this extend all and pass along menu items. Yeah, I think this would work. It's just sometimes the power brick burns out. Oh. Well, sounds like you have a very cheap power brick. Yeah, my power, well, yeah, I can't remember having an issue like that. I guess the standards for consumer electronics are a bit lower in India. Because yeah, it's not really a thing here. Yeah, having things burn out, like power bricks, yeah, that sounds very scary. And not something that actually happens. Right. So I guess first of all I need to verify that quite low, yeah, I imagine. Well, it is a developing country, so, you know, things like that will come with time. Hopefully. Stand selected. So I guess first of all I need to verify that this text validate text. What should I call it? Validate bot selection. I pass along the text for validation and selection menu. Right, let's make this a method. Right. So what should validation consist of? So I probably should create a list first. Bot IDs, I guess. Let's call it bot IDs, that should be fine. Equal new list. And now I go through. What's the name of that? Split? Imagine text split. Oh, text. So I can declare its type as well, string. So it knows what kind of split I'm talking about. Right. A list of words, a string. Oh, I mean it stops working, not literally burns. Okay, so, well, I don't really have a way of knowing what you mean by certain words, so, you know. I guess that's good, that it doesn't burn. That would be a big problem. Even that it stops working, I can't imagine, like, why would that happen? What could cause a power brick to just stop working? This argument where you want to split. Where you want to split? Yeah, give me a second, I'm still reading. Max split. Delimiter according separator. So separator. Non-default now means split according to any white space. Okay, I don't want to use white space. Max split. -1 default. So I guess I just provide comma. So I separate the text. Oh, what's the return type? Imagine it's a list. Enter. Return a list of words. String, okay. We have a list of selections. Right. So for each ID, no ID, you can't use ID. Selection ID in selections. I iterate over it and then where do I use casting? Guess it's done when I initially create the bots, is it? So bots. Try catch. Try finally. Oh, okay, so I don't really catch any exceptions here. Yeah, the database is not something I need to be worried about. Validate weeks. I think that's the one I'm looking for. Yeah, try accept value error. So yeah, I need this. Thanks for Fiverr website. Well, you're welcome. You know, it's definitely, well, it sounds like it's what you're looking for. But you need to keep in mind that you will be, well, you will have to pay money for things like that. Like, it's not a trivial amount of work, even though you might think so. Right. Selection ID needs to be an integer. And assign it to bot ID. I guess I can just add it to the list. And right. One guy is charging 1,000. Does it sound fair? For 1,000, let's see. Well, doesn't sound like he knows what he's doing if he's charging 1,000. Well, it depends on what the job is. For certain things, yeah, it would be a fair price. Some applications, for example, some projects I worked on, like costs millions, so to make. So it is not unreasonable to ask for $1,000 to make an application as well. It's not gonna be as trivial as what you want to make. Your application is a lot simpler. It shouldn't require that much money. Like, imagine a person who is knowledgeable in making Telegram bots should be able to cobble together a solution for like 50 euros, 50 bucks or 100 bucks, something like that. That sounds reasonable. but thousand seems like a little bit much, and if they are charging that much, you expect a different level of quality out of the product. You want to then it means it has a user interface, it has some documentation probably attached to it, and so on. So don't use your mouse card without permission. No, don't bully people. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. Like if just because person doesn't know anything about programming doesn't mean like he's not a reasonable person. Don't assume that right off the bat. Right. It will have the Jarvis programmed it. Oh, Jarvis, yeah. For Jarvis, you would need to. You don't need one developer. You need to hire IBM or something like that to make Watson into Jarvis. Okay, let me ask if you had to make a bot. I'm not asking you now, but if you were to make, how much would you have charged since you know the project? Well, issue for me is that I don't know the API of Telegram's API. So I would have to spend, let's say, a day extra to figure that out. And for me, it's hard to judge what is possible or not. But yeah, probably $100 sounds about right. I would be willing to spend a day to investigate what are the capabilities of the API, playing around with it. Probably a day won't be enough. Maybe 2 days will be what it would take me, because it is kind of specific. There are some corner cases where some it's not really clear if it would be possible, because I guess if other people made it, I guess it is possible, but the question is, how did they do it? Because if they didn't do it through the API, they could have just hacked into the client itself and then pretended to be a normal user. Because bots usually don't interact with other bots using platforms like Telegram. For example, in my application, like if a bot were to message my configuration bot, it will ignore that message. So there is a very simple piece of code I have. So when I get a message, like this is the event that handles a user message. This is what initiates everything. So it does a couple of checks at the very beginning when it takes the message. It checks if the guild ID. It doesn't really matter this, but this is the check. It checks if the author of the message is a bot. If it's a bot, it just logs ignoring message from a bot. Or it also ignores its own messages at the same time. But if a bot were to message another bot, it's very trivial to ignore those messages. In that case, I don't think it would even be possible to make that. Then you would have to hack into the client and pretend to be a legit user, and in that case, yeah, that would be much more complicated. Then you would need to hack the client somehow. And yeah, I'm not experienced enough to do that, so I wouldn't be willing to take up a job like that. But I don't really, I have no way of knowing what approach is necessary since I don't know the capabilities of the API. Maybe it's fine and the API will let me interact as a user with another bot, and the other bot will have no way of knowing that he's interacting with the bot. So there are like questions like that that complicate the situation a little bit. But yeah, if it's possible to do this through the API, then yeah, I would be willing to make it for like $100. But I can't know for sure if it's possible before I actually delve into the API and see what the capabilities are, and actually start writing, because yeah, there can always arise issues along the process, especially when you're working with something new. that you didn't foresee, and this could be one of them. Well, this is a long-winded explanation. Hopefully that helps. I tried to make it as simple as possible. Right. Now I forgot what I was doing here. So yeah, I get bot IDs. So this is the list of IDs from menu items. Right. So instead of passing along all the menu items, I just need to select. Okay. And if I get an error, sir, input. The typos are excellent. I love those. I'll keep the typos and logs. I don't even care. I guess I will care in the end if I actually have to go through the logs and find a message. Yeah, Ether wouldn't be helpful. Ether input not a valid number. Yeah, okay, that sounds good enough. Don't want to print out the actual number though, because yeah, Log4j is something I don't want to experience myself, something like that. Yeah. So let's not log user input. It's like this. I guess it would be sanitized anyways. Well, Log4j should have sanitized it as well, but yeah, apparently it didn't. Right. What IDs? Except, so if there is an exception, I take menu, take its context, and errors is a list of errors. Oh, this is a good question. So the issue is that there could be multiple errors. I guess I can just, when I hit an error, I just stop and don't, yeah, should just return that case. So if any of the conversions to integers fail, it will just return an error, which, okay, where is my error classifier? Classifiers here. Failures, buttons, errors. Okay, so far I have 4 errors defined. Valid option, valid webhook, invalid week number. Oh, I guess I can do this. Let's take a look at what it actually says. Let's not delete this. It's important. Invalid week numbers. Okay, here it is. Incorrect value number of weeks has to be a number higher than. Oh, actually, this is not correct. And this is for a different window. It's talking about number of weeks. I need to select bots. I guess I need a new error in that case. Valid bot number. That sounds good. So number. And this, I guess this is a specific to this menu. Should I have it generic? I think it should be just in this menu. Standbots, email, standbots setup, selection. So yeah, this is part of the selection menu. Error. I guess it should be part of this. Well, I guess it is. It explains what the format is in the same menu. Also, could I have different errors? Because there are 2 errors you can make. Either you provide a number that isn't, well, provide an input that is not a number, or like this. For example, if you write a letter, then comma, and then 1, then 2. So this will fail because it's not a number. And another option is if you provide a number that's not in the list. So 5 is not in the list. So I guess it will be 2 different errors. And I guess I can make different messages for each of these errors. I guess one of these invalid not bot number, that should be a number, well, for selecting a number that doesn't exist. And but bot number not int string bot number in. Okay, let's have this as another error. So in the first case, provided number is not the list. Okay. Hopefully that, well, I guess I can change the wording afterwards. Here, provided number is not a number. Should I return that same text? That is a good question. I guess I can add the number that was selected, return the same input, which is the faulty one. Yeah, that would be useful. Provided number, I can insert the number here. Here. Okay, but that means I need to actually provide the numbers as well, not just the errors. See, where is it? Lost my, okay, here it is. So errors will have classifiers. Save this first. Classifiers, errors, valid. Wait, this is where it failed to cast into number. Okay, invalid. Not integers. Okay, this is the error I want. Then the value that will be inserted here goes to, I have an example here somewhere. Let's see, where do I use errors as well? Here they are. Invalid email, invalid week number. Error fields. So this is where I provide the fields. So context, this is error fields will be for this error. The field will be selection ID. Yeah, because that failed to cast. Okay. So this will be used for the displaying of the error. Then it returns. Right. So this is done. I guess I can check if it actually works. So after I call this validate method, if there are errors, the selection menu, I do the same check Oh yeah, I need to remember that. Need to disable, well, reset the errors. Yeah, I could have done the same here. Could have made it a little bit easier. Validate selection, yeah. Here. So instead of selection, okay, this will make it a little bit shorter. Right. Where do I call it? Validate weeks. All is here, so this is how I check if there were errors. Extend validate selection, extend selection. So here, right? If it is none, it's not none. So if basically if there were errors, it should return the menu with the errors and should display the error message. Right. So that part should be working. I guess that's the only part that matters for this menu. Just the validation. Because everything else is already done, or has been done. Right. Extend. Selected option doesn't... Oh, I think I've been running two instances at the same time, okay. Again, let's restart, because that didn't really make much sense. Extend, and now if I enter not a number, let's see, 1, 2, and H. Yeah, so error provided number H is not a number. Yeah, I guess that's enough. I guess I can add quotes to make it more clear that this is what was supposed to be a number, what was expected to be a number. Why? Oh, I guess it didn't reload the configuration, okay. So I need to restart it. Probably set it up that whenever a change is detected, it reloads immediately the configuration. It's done for the main configuration, it's not done for translations, apparently. Stand 1, 2, and J. Okay. So yeah, provided number J is not a number. Okay. Seems to be working fine. Right. Stop and finish with checking if the number actually exists. Extend bot. I started with a spaghetti code of 1000 lines, and I think I ended up with like 4,000 or 5,000 lines of code in total, but spread out over like 10-15 files. I'm not sure which... well, I guess this is 1,000 lines, but it is unmaintainable. And that 3,000 or 4,000 lines will be more maintainable. Maybe it's not gonna be 3. It should be close though. Right, why they added here? Hello friend. Mofro, do you have a Discord? I do have a Discord, and it is linked in my description on my Twitch. I have 3 people in my Discord at the moment. That's where I post when I'm going live, because my schedule is not, well, it's quite flexible. Where can I send you my assignment questions? You can definitely do that on Discord. Oh, I guess I get 2 of these in one stream. I like it. So there was another guy before you today on the stream asking for help, but he wanted me to make an application for him or to play a game for him on Telegram. It's that word game that everyone, I think. I know that there's a word game that's very popular right now, so it might be that one, or maybe it's a clone of that. Well, I don't really know. Can't really say I care all that much as well. So yeah, go ahead and post your question there, and I'll get to it shortly. Because I'm about to be finished with the functionality I want to do for today at least. I just need to do a couple of more checks, and it should be it. So it's a value error, right? And another error could be if or maybe I should do the casting separately. Yeah, and I need the number. Mirio Cock. Hello, I have a question. Why Python when you compile the bytecode is not compatible with other versions of Python when you want to run it? Well, I imagine... Well, it is kind of... Well, I'm not a Python guru, so I can't tell for sure, but I have a theory, just from general experience, because Java works in a very similar way. Well, Java is also run on an interpreter that's Java Virtual Machine, which runs Java bytecode that gets compiled from Java source. So Python works in a similar way from what I understand. So given that, my explanation would be that each time the bytecode is run, when it's compiled, the bytecode should have a tag that says that this was compiled with a certain version of Python, and it shouldn't be run with older versions or newer versions. So it could have lots of restrictions based on that, because you can get into a situation where you're using a feature that is not really implemented in the older versions, and so the application might not understand. Well, you know, since each version of Python introduces new features or changes the behavior of the language, so those features will get turned into bytecode in a different way. So you need an interpreter that, well, you need an interpreter of a certain version to correctly execute it. I'm in your Discord now, and when I get back home, I will send the sign-up question. Okay, well, I'll see. So hopefully that is my working theory, and that would be I'm pretty sure, like, it can't be far off from that. And it just how interpreted languages like that get compiled into bytecode work in general, from my experience. Like, well, at least Java works like that. So it is a common problem where you get a very specific error. Well, it has a certain look and feel, even though the text, I don't remember what kind of text it is. But yeah, it complains about version mismatch and so on. So if you get something like that, then yeah, it has restrictions, like the bytecode has to be run by certain versions. Yeah. It is kind of annoying, so you need to be mindful of that. But, you know, that's the price of cross compatibility. So you don't have to worry if it's running on Linux or Windows or Mac OS or anything else, any other platform. You just need to worry about the Python that's running the code, if it's the correct version. But I think it should understand older code. It's just that the older interpreter, older version of Python won't be able to run code that's compiled into bytecode by a newer version of Python, because the older version won't know about the new features, and yeah, so instead of risking it, because most of the time it would be fine, but in certain cases it would just break because it encounters a new feature. Maybe you don't use the new features in like newer versions, and the older compiler would be able, older Python would be able to run that newer bytecode, no problem. But just to make sure you won't run into issues, you just give it a hard error. Well, at least that's how Java does. I imagine Python, I don't see why they wouldn't have the same approach. So they just give you an error. It's compiled with two new of a version, and you can't run it on this environment because the versions just don't match. Java doesn't have these errors. It definitely does. At least when you try to run Java bytecode, well, jar package with too old of a version of Java. So it probably doesn't have that exact same error, but the principles are the same because they all run on their own virtual environment. Well, virtual environment, well, it's not precisely the right term, but in their own sandboxes, let's say. So even though the errors might not match, but yeah, the principles are the same. Right. So now I need to check. Right, selection ID. This is what I actually want to assign. Thank you so much. Well, I'm not sure how useful that is, because it is a very specific question. I would like to know what kind of how you came to that sort of question. Maybe you're just wondering why it is so. Yeah, because it's not something you would come across by just writing applications. I don't think you would come across a question like that. Like, how do you come up with a question like that? That would be my question. Because I can't think of, yeah. The only case I imagine is, well, I would come up with a question like this if I was reading through documentation and it said specifically that you can't run certain versions on bytecode that was compiled in one version can be run on another version. And it doesn't explain why, for some reason. I imagine documentation would explain why it is so, but it might not. Or were you just experimenting with it and came into an error like this and just don't understand why it is so? Right. Bot ID. I guess I can. That makes sense. Here it will be equal this. I append bot ID. Now if bot ID not in context menu items. I think menu items is just a list. I can modify Java bytecode, but now I'm into Python. Just want to run the DHE code faster without script. Okay. Oh, so I guess it's something different if we modify. But how do you modify bytecode itself? Yeah, that's a very interesting case. Yeah, it's not something I've ever done, like going into the bytecode and changing it. And what is DHE code? Is the DHE, well, it refers to Python bytecode? Like reverse engineering? Yeah, decompiling is something that people do. I never done it myself. I never felt the need to decompile anything. I'm not really into hacking stuff, so, you know. Doesn't feel like it's something I'm interested in. I think let's check menu items. Mod apps. Yeah, well, usually if you're writing a mod, hopefully there is a library that you can interact with. But yeah, like mods, it's pretty much hacking at this point when you're decompiling application to inject your own functionality. Like, that's too much work. That indicates that the developers don't really support modding in any way. So yeah, I just don't do that. Because when the new version of the application, when the application gets updated, you need to go through the whole process again and compile a new version with all of your modifications included and so on, which is, it just seems like such a hassle that I don't want to be. Yeah. I just don't want to have the added headache writing mods for applications that don't support modding. Like, I understand modding when there's a nice library that you can interact with and add your own functionality, then yeah, that's cool. And I would do that. I guess that's why I work with APIs. Yeah. But yeah, mods are cool. I definitely like what people do with them, but damn, it's a pain to maintain them. It seems, at least. I'm not sure. Maybe it's I just don't know. And what is this? Oh, why do I have this? Return nothing. Okay, this doesn't really make much sense. Okay, whatever. I'm looking for context menu items. Menu context. Menu items is a dictionary, so menu items. So I need to check if it's part of keys. Right. So I get dictionary keys, and if the provided ID is not part of it, then I have another error. This time the error will be valid bot number. Okay. Selection ID. Right. I guess at the same time I can set up the list. How can I do this? I want to use this extend all functionality. Menu items. It expects a dictionary as well. Well, I guess it doesn't really use the dictionary key. It only goes through the values, so the keys don't matter. Right. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't mess with the menu itself. I should make a new dictionary, which will be returned. Okay. Menu items. Okay, let's make it result, so it have a different name. Right. Okay, get an error. And else, so if it checks if it's actually a number first, and it throws an exception, which results in an error. And if it's not part of the list of your bots, it will give you another error, which will get turned here. But if those are fine, I will add this to the list of my item result. Can use bot ID. And assign. This is not right. Context. New items, and I use the same bot ID. Right. Here I return menu items result. That's one. Right. Okay. Yeah, but that sounds like if you're writing a mod and you're modifying bytecode, I guess the issue you're having, you're just using the wrong version of Python to compile your modded version of the application. Seems like that should solve your issue. Imagine you just didn't come across that particular error with Java, because newer versions of Java will run older code, because they know that, well, when they see the part of the bytecode that declares what version was used to compile it, and I imagine it has backward compatibility, so newer versions will support older versions. It's just not the other way around. And maybe Python is more strict in that regard. It requires the certain version to be run. If it's compiled on a certain version, it might require to be run on that same version, strictly. Which, I don't know, so the details. Right, extend selected. So this is actually returns menu items. Right, so if there are no errors, I can do extend all. Right. Extend turn, extend all. And as user, selection menu. User. Menu items are menu items that the user has selected. Yeah, so I will reuse this functionality. Right, this will create all the invoice items. It will go through the menu items provided and construct a list of invoice items. Okay, it should be done, hopefully. Let's see. If it's done, then it would be nice to be done with this. I can move on to actually... to key features that need to be done. Hey, someone joined my Discord. Nice. We grew by 25% today. Oh no, 33% because it was only 3 of us before. Oh, there's another guy. Okay. Oh. Oh no, actually, it was 3 of us. Yeah, I can't count. Oh. Right, is it running? It's running, okay. Time to check if it works. Let's go bots, extend, enter 1 and 5. Should give me an error. Provided number 1 is not in the list. Okay, I didn't expect that. That doesn't seem right. It's to be in the list. Oh, I'm probably converting it to integers, and the keys are probably strings. I didn't really think about that. Bot ID. Bot selections. Amazing. Let's change that. Like these are not, well, these keys are close but not next to each other. I don't know why I'm mixing these up. Something subconscious, I guess. Okay. I don't really have an explanation. How you mistype bot as bot. Okay. Does it have to be an integer or not? Okay, hopefully this fixes it. On patent filling, still here made half of my report. On patent filling? Oh. So you're learning about patents? Patents? It's called patent. Oh, it's pronounced patent. I think so. Okay, let's run this again. Test, extend, enter 1 and 5 again. Okay, so 5 is not in this. Okay, that's what I would expect. So let's do 1 and 2. And 1 is BattleBot, which costs 15 cents per week. And KillBot costs 50 cents. So in total, they should be 65 cents per week. So if everything works correctly, that's what I should get. Yeah, I get 65 cents per week, and minimum number of weeks is 8. And it's done. It's done. Yay. Finally. Okay, right. It's to be 8 or more. Now I should probably check my email if I'm actually getting those invoices. It takes a little bit of time for PayPal to go and actually send them. Right. Cool. Maybe I should rename this cancel button in listbot's menu. Cancel doesn't seem right. It should be back, I think. Oh, I guess can't really do that, actually. I don't have a button. Do I have a button back? What kind of buttons do I have? Errors, start menu. Wait, I don't have a general area for buttons. Oh, I just use names. Cancel, delete, confirm. Back button. It's back. It could be misleading as well. This isn't. Okay, let's not change anything for now. Because if you come back from just entered all of this. Oh, what I want is actually to give a message that that the invoice was successfully created, and the bot will be extended when the invoice is paid. Right, so before the last step, I want to add a message, information message. Setup weeks. Unbox user email. Handling. So I guess after this, yeah, the bots. So user menu dot user input menu. This is the type. Struggling a little bit too much. This menu. Nice. So now I can manipulate the man. Context. Errors. I think this is how I display messages. Yeah. Well. Oh well. Except I don't use error. I have another. Do I? I do. Oh no, messages. Okay. So I have a new classifier for just messages. Success. Success. Extend bot. Right. Successful. Yes. Claim, not claim, extend. Oh, this. I actually have success claiming bot. Where do I save this? This is part of the list bots. I guess this will have to be the same place. Has to have a plus, so it would be green. And somewhere in the old translations I have a string that I want to use. Invoice, you should get an invoice within 10 minutes, but will be extended automatically when the 10 minutes after invoice is paid. Right, so this is the message I want to display. here. Bots, I guess this should be in brackets because it could be that you extended only one bot. Right. So that is done. I actually now need to edit, display the errors. This. Sure, that's how it's done. See, claiming bot functionality. Understand, validate. Oh, actually, claiming bot is in a separate module. Bot menu. Open already. So yeah, errors. Oh, this is errors. Success claiming bot. Oh yeah, it's pretty much the same. Well, it is passed along as error. This is the hack. Like, this is terrible. This is, you shouldn't do it like that, but I can't be bothered. I didn't think I had enough, so I'm just hacking my error display functionality to show a successful message. But it works. Right. Classifiers. As messages. Then success extended bot. Right. Oh. Actually, will it work correctly if I make an error in list bots menu? I guess. Okay, let's check it. Check my emails at some point. Check my email on phone, because that email is actually attached to my phone. Oh yeah, I got a bunch of messages about emails being sent from PayPal, and I got a bunch of emails with invoices from PayPal. Front email. Nice, so all of the functionality seems to be working correctly. Always nice. Stand. Let's do a selection. Should still be working. 30 is the minimum. 30. Email. Actually, I need to enter gmail.com. Now I need to see the message, which I don't. Wow, I'm dumb. That was done with extra stupid. I modified claim bot, not extend bot. Oh wait, no I did. Oh, I don't return. Okay, that's just claiming bot. This was added recently? What? Damn, I haven't committed my code to repository in so long. Like, everything is just so much changes, so many changes. Yeah. It wasn't that dumb. Still dumb. It was just a bit of an oversight. Okay, what's done? Right, this car. I'm getting distracted already. Stand. Second, just. Let's use this. Then. Email. Yay! You should get an invoice within 10 minutes. Bots will be extended automatically within 10 minutes after invoice is paid. Nice! So extension is done. Oh, that's so nice. Be done with this finally. It took me quite a long time to actually do this. Well, I guess it is the most complicated feature of the configuration bot. It has to Okay, I guess it's time. Well, it has to, for one, it integrates with PayPal somewhat. And it has a lot of steps involved. You need to provide quite a little bit of info. Well, not a lot, but you know, email and number of weeks. And you need to check quite a few things. So that's cool. Right. Now I can start thinking about functionality for actually creating bots. So all is left is creation of bots and editing of bots, which, well, both are very closely related. So yeah, new kill bot. I guess BattleBot is. I guess both of them are on par. Both of their configurations are like of comparable complexity. Well, BattleBot only doesn't work with individual players, but it has other settings. I guess I'll just start with Killbot next time. Right. One thing I completely ignored so far is testing. So there's no testing here at all, which is very bad. But I'll see when I'm done. Eventually, maybe I'll come back to this. Hopefully I will. Before I forget how everything works. And write some tests. I'm not sure if this is actually... well, if it can be tested. At least parts of it should be able to be. Oh, yeah. I guess I'll see. Yes, testing is very often overlooked and underappreciated. Actually, everyone likes to say that testing is important. In reality, well, I guess in corporate projects it's ignored more often than not. And in open source projects, like, people seem to be more strict about testing. So it would be unusual to see an open source project without associated like a proper adequate amount of tests in the test suite. Well, yeah, but I would like to include that, but I just don't want to spend the time at the moment, which is, I guess, how testing gets skipped. Why bother? Why put in extra effort when the product, when the thing is already working? Right. I also wanted to check. This is it. Oh, translations. Right. How can I forget about translations? Files to each other. Russian, okay. Portuguese, Spanish. I guess I can start with errors. Report done. Nice. I'm done with the features as well. All I have left is the awesome part of translations, localization. Let's see. Let's not save it. Stop. This here. The errors. Russian errors. Yeah, translation is like the most boring. Well, I guess this is what I get for supporting multiple languages. I get the joy of translating each string I use to all of the languages. Okay, my Google Translate. Just makes me wonder if it's worth it. Where's my Google Translate? See it. Should I close it? TranslateGoogle.com. English to Spanish. Right. Exactly what I wanted. This. Places this. Well, hopefully, well, with translations it is a little bit annoying. I translate them all using Google Translate, and eventually people come back complaining that translations are not correct, and then slowly modify them as needed. See, I'm a little bit short. This is such a short message translates into this long thing. This is what it is. Well, it's the only Spanish word I know. Oh, I know Despacito. Is Despacito a word? I don't even... What does it mean then? I assumed it's just a name. Not an actual word from... well, used in the language. Why did it? Oh. Oh, this is what? I messed up. I did mess up. I forgot to change language. Let's undo this. Updating all the languages into Spanish. This has to be Portuguese, which is almost the same. Damn it. It means slowly. Oh, okay. That's cool. I was wondering about the same thing about Gangnam Style. It apparently means something in Korean. 0-O-I. Oh, it's just capital O, not 0. Okay. It's fine then. This. Now Russian. Неверное значение. Количество недель должно быть больше, чем... To make sense. Вау. Указание адрес электронной почты. Oh, sassy lady. Open Gangnam Style. Yeah. And this translation is hilarious. It says provided address of electronic mail. It doesn't. Yeah, these words are a little bit too complicated for me to understand what they mean. I can only read Russian. Like, the translation is quite hilarious. Like, email gets translated into long-worded, long-winded electronic address of electronic mail. And when it becomes popular, everyone in my school was singing it. Oh yeah, well, oh, that's what popular things are there for, I guess. That's what makes them popular. Or something. Let's see, Hindi. Time to do some Hindi. Translation. Yeah, you can help me with this, if this actually makes sense. Because I don't think I have much Hindi users. I'm just doing it for for lols at this point. You have to support Hindi language. Actually, do I need to... So this error needs to be translated as well. Hopefully this means error. Should mean it's at the beginning of all the errors. Right. Next, to add success messages at the end of list bots section. Bots. This bots here. Oh, actually, success claiming is already done. It's correct, just too much formal. Well, you know, formality is not a bad thing. Like, you don't want the bot talking to you casually as well. Like, it doesn't seem right. Like, I don't really appreciate if the bot is making, like, innuendos and jokes when I'm interacting with it. Like, I want it to be... Well... I want it to be concise, correct, direct, and so on. I don't want it to be, like, trying to pretend that it's something that's... that it's not. So I think formal is pretty good. Hopefully this is good as well. I just don't like that Hindi is not actually showing up in Discord. That is a little bit annoying. Second language was Russian, I don't remember. It was Russian. Wait, this doesn't get translated into... Shit. So email here in this context gets translated into a normal word. Hey boy, you need a bot? Looks like you need one. Discord bot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That doesn't seem right. Like, yeah, some developers tend to overdo it. Like, I'd say Discord does it like it's on the cusp of that, of being a little bit too cringe. Like, well, maybe cringe is not the right word. But yeah, some companies do that, and I don't think that adds much to the experience. Like, I don't think people appreciate that. I personally don't, so... Hopefully this is correct. Hopefully I didn't mix up the languages or something. Oh, this is gonna be a lot of... Well, I guess I've implemented quite a few menus. Oh, let's add the new lines as well. Have you heard of GitHub Copilot? I can't say I did. What is that? Did you make a typo and it should be a code pilot or just actually Copilot? Copilot. That doesn't even sound anything remotely familiar. Sadly. Let's see here. Bot, plain bot, Hindi. Right, well, I guess I start with, no, actually I'll start with Spanish because I have that open, and finish with Hindi. Extend bots. Right. Oh, actually, will it know what... Oh, it actually translates EG. Nice. And Google Translate is such a good piece of software. Kind of amazing how well it works. People say it's gonna take software jobs from humans, but it's far, far away. Well, people keep saying that for the last 10 years. So, you know. All this software is... eventually simple stuff like the stuff this guy was asking to make. Like stuff like that could be automated. I can see being automated in some way. but more complicated stuff, yeah. Like when you actually need to design a system and like translate complicated requirements, because most applications are not as simple as just make a bot that, well, I need an application that gives me a random words of certain length. This doesn't look translated. It's actually error. I guess it doesn't have translation. Probably it's the same in Spanish. It's the only conclusion I can come up with. Right. Why the number is not a number? Weeks. But yeah, making so the problem with automating, because even when I was in university, we already worked on the solutions that basically you formalize requirements in a certain way, like describe the application in some strict don't even remember what kind of language it was, but it had a specific language which let you define requirements for the application, and the end result is that the whole application will be generated based on those requirements. So yeah, so the work has been going on that field for a long time, and still it hasn't dominated. Like it ends up being too strict if you want to fully automate it, and yeah, just the real world applications are just too complicated. They have they have too many exceptions to make this sort of automation viable. So yeah, you end up, if you try to go with this automated solution where you learn a new way of describing your requirements, in the end, to make a functional application that actually is usable, you still have to rewrite that application with all the exceptions included. So it doesn't look promising. It didn't look promising back then. The idea is solid, I guess. Yeah, the implementation is lacking, and yeah, I'm not sure that's gonna be fixed anytime, or I don't see why it would change. Like, applications are getting more and more complex. I guess if we manage somehow to simplify what we need, like when everything will be standardized, maybe. But now, well, there's a lot of things that are standardized, don't get me wrong. Like there are a bunch of standards that everyone uses, and it's nowhere near enough to make the whole application creation process automated. And if you try to do that, you get a huge, like you need to run it in a distributed cloud. Do you have a portfolio site? No, I don't. I don't have a website. I don't make websites. That's why I haven't made one for myself. I don't really care about people being able to see my work. Well, I never cared about it. I guess now is when I started streaming, I guess that kind of is changing that. Maybe I should think about having a website where I could show off my work. But website doesn't really suit me all that well, because all of my applications are running are back-end applications pretty much. I don't make websites, so I don't really have much to put on the website. Right, this is Russian. Right. But yeah, that is an odd thing. Well, at least it seems odd to me at the moment to have my portfolio website. Even though I know it's popular. Especially if you're a full stack developer, you know all like web stack. I mean, so you know the front end development as well as the back end development. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. Well, I guess it's something you can start thinking about. I guess if you're working on, well, actually, I want to come back to the roadmap you gave yesterday. I had to go because I was driving someone to another city. So we didn't actually finish going through it. Seems... Oh, about the databases. Will you be streaming about them on Nightstream? Yeah, I will. Not sure if... Well, I would like to do it today, but I don't want to go unprepared into it. So I'll see how much I manage to prepare for it during today. And then based on that, I will decide if I'll stream this evening or not. Hindi? The last one. Please pay attention if Hindi is something wrong with Hindi. Because I cannot read this at all. MongoDB is the one which I heard about everywhere. Yeah, I heard about MongoDB quite a bit as well, but let's see. I think it's even listed in that. Where is it? Here. Yeah, MongoDB. Yeah, it's NoSQL database. I actually never worked with any NoSQL databases, so I have no experience with any of these. And PostgreSQL. Well, PostgreSQL, I haven't worked with PostgreSQL as well. I'm currently using MariaDB. I worked with both my Microsoft SQL database and both Oracle. Also, I worked with MySQL, and I'm currently using MariaDB, which is pretty much, it's a fork of MySQL, which is more open source. And I never used PostgreSQL. Like, all of the relational databases, like, they are more or less the same, so you know one, you know all of them pretty much. And if you need to know, well, don't get me wrong, they have plenty different between them, but the functionality you actually care about, what you want from the database, is pretty much the same from all of them. They just have additional features you might want or not. Usually don't care about them, but they will sell you on their own solution based on, yeah, we do it something very differently, well, better than other solutions, but usually it just doesn't really matter. And not relational databases, yeah, those are kind of interesting. They are more specialized and more oriented towards modern social media applications, because they let you work with data in a different way, which is more flexible and more practical for parsing through large amounts of data, which is not easily defined into a strict structure that is provided by relational databases. Because the thing to keep in mind is everything you can do with NoSQL databases, with Mongo and so on, you can do with relational databases as well. Except with relational databases, the same thing will take more effort, certain features, and some of those features might run considerably slower on relational databases. So NoSQL databases are kind of specialized, so you really need to know what you need from them, what kind of database you need before you decide on going with them. Because majority of the things you need database for will be easily implemented using a relational database, and like it's very simple to understand. Relational databases are kind of simple and easy to use and easy to wrap your hand around. Like when you think about NoSQL databases, like it's all based about in JSON, and when you have a good understanding of them, then you can, like, relational databases are easy to get into, like easy to understand, easy to use, and NoSQL databases seem to be more complex, more complicated. Like the concepts behind them are more advanced, but in certain scenarios that's what you need. So, you know. And I never worked on a project that actually needed anything that was provided by NoSQL databases, so I don't really have much experience with them. It would be interesting to go maybe familiarize myself with them on stream. That could be a thing. But the databases stream I would be doing, it would be oriented towards relational databases. Our company uses PostgreSQL, so I need to learn it. Well, oh, Postgre. Oh, so they use relations. Oh, okay. That's... Well, all of them are pretty much the same. If you know how to use one, you will know how to use the rest. So the major difference will be what kind of driver you need to use, because driver is the actual piece of software that makes the connection to the database and receives data, and beyond that all of them are pretty much the same. Well, from the user standpoint, from a developer standpoint, PostgreSQL might have some unique features, but the question is if you actually need them, because the SQL is a very standardized field, so you know, yeah, okay. They are very similar. So, you know, even Oracle is maybe a little bit different from the rest, because they try to make something different in more drastic way than the others. They didn't just add a couple of features, they tried to make a database which wasn't meant to just store data. It could be used to create a whole application. So basically your code would be part of the database. So that's why Oracle is somewhat different from the rest. But it didn't really catch on. I've seen projects use those features, and yeah, the developers were struggling quite a bit because it introduced a bunch of other constraints that you usually don't have if your application is just a normal application running on a separate server, and the database is only used for storing data. And if you use a database to store your code as well, then yeah, scalability becomes a problem that it's not that easily solved, and so on, because well, your database server is not only responsible for storing, retrieving data, it's also responsible for running the application itself, and yeah, well, it didn't catch on. It's just a thing. Some corporations bought into it, so they are stuck with it until they can justify creating a new version of their solution, whatever that is, and get rid of it. But until then, they're stuck with it. So it is a thing. But otherwise, you would use Oracle database as any other SQL database, and that will be done, and that's it. So, you know, all of them are the same. And I wouldn't be actually, the examples I would like to make is in another database, which is a lot smaller. It's built into Python, actually. So it's a local file database. basically. So it has a format. I don't even remember what the format is. I think it's something based on JSON. So it's a JSON-like file that actually is the database. And the library that is built into Python just provides you all the SQL features you would have on a normal database. So, you know, it's easier to use because you don't really have to go and download specific libraries to connect to those specific databases. Because, for example, in my application, Helper is the one that actually deals with databases the most. So I had to install PyMySQL library because that is required to connect to my MariaDB database. What do I do here? I keep pressing buttons by accident. Okay, all good. So yeah, the only benefit of, well, the only difference, maybe not the only, the key difference from the using using user as a developer from your standpoint would be where do you get the connection from. So, and using MariaDB, why is this here? How did I manage to put so many misspaced things? Yeah, it's just a mystery for me. Oh, I see. Okay, now I see what's going on. It's actually what I'm pressing is yeah, this is a mini game. This is fun. So what I'm doing is pressing with my middle button. So my scroll wheel. If I press my scroll wheel, it pastes something apparently. I'm not sure where it's taking this from. Is it the selection? Oh yeah, it copy pastes the selection. Cool. But yeah, apparently I click it by accident quite a lot. That was a lot of text. And it's quite laggy at the moment. Classifiers. Okay, so this should be correct. Okay, I made a mess. I think it's done. Okay, back to translations. So I don't worry about learning specifics of PostgreSQL. You'll just learn to use SQL database. I started a war in my class WhatsApp group. Ooh. That's well, you know, you need to entertain yourself somehow. Did you brag that you already finished the report? Does it have anything to do with that? I can see that people could be triggered by something like that. Certain situations. Not always, of course. Russian. I'm done with Russian. Oh, Hindi. Yeah, I haven't finished with Hindi. Let's see, where's my Google Translate? Oh. These are the medicine. And bots? I told them today's test was easy. Oh. You know. Well, if they don't get sarcasm, you know. That's not sure. That can't be helped. If you don't get jokes. And they started fighting over there. I want to say there is a saying. Yeah, well, in Lithuania we have a saying that there's no cure from stupidity, so, you know. You're stupid, you probably will stay stupid, so, you know. It's just something that can't be helped. extent X. Hopefully these translations make sense. Well, eventually, if I get a Hindi user, he might let me know what's wrong with it. Hopefully. Maybe they just point and laugh. I guess that works as well, as long as they can understand what I actually need. If they understand what the message is supposed to be, I think it should be fine. The Hindi is quite accurate. I don't get some words because it's too pure Hindi. Ooh, okay. That's even a thing. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. It is a little bit odd to have two languages as your two official languages in a country. But for simple words, it's accurate. Yeah, okay, well, that's good. As long as people understand what I'm actually, well, what the message is supposed to be, it should be good. I just don't like that Hindi is broken now. I still have to restart my machine. Maybe I should restart my PC today. Let's see what's the uptime now. 16 days. Oh, did I thought yeah, I guess I checked it yesterday. We can go back. I wanna go eat lunch. But I really like that website with this. Really cool. Yeah. Some things I agree with, some things I don't really like. I guess NoSQL databases are becoming a thing more and more. ORM, subject relation mappings. So this is about frameworks that take entries in the database and create them into objects in your code. So you can manipulate them, they become instances of an object. ACID, I don't know what ACID is. I just heard that acronym. ACID are the 4 properties of a database system that help it make sure that we're able to perform a transaction in a reasonable manner. This acronym, which refers to presence of 4 properties: autonomic, consistency, isolation, and durability. Okay. Like if I have to say flower is beautiful and I say the bright flower is pulchritudinous and prepossessing, they both mean the same thing. Huh. Okay, well, I'm trying to figure out if these words mean anything in English, and I don't think they do. Yeah, this is really cool. Well, I guess I won't go through it now. Do you have any questions, Risk, since this is more relevant to you about this? What would you like to hear about on this tree? They mean beautiful. Synonyms, yeah, okay. So, are you interested in any of these topics? Ooh, graph databases. This is what I've been watching a video about recently. These seem really cool. Like NoSQL databases, they seem like a gimmick for big data, but you would like to learn about databases. Well, I'm not sure what. Well, for now, for this stream, what kind of question? What do you want to know about the databases? I feel like I explained quite a bit. What would you like me to go into more detail about? Like how databases work? Yes, I can go over the high level. Yes, I could. Oh. What is a database? Oh, I have a good response for this one. What is a database? I'm not sure. Have you done any calculus? I think that's what it's called in English. We just call higher math here in Lithuania, but I think in English it's called calculus. So you know what a matrix is? Matrix or matrix. I'm not sure which is correct. Derivative and integral. So you should have learned about matrices before that, before integration, I believe. At least that's how we, well, that was the order we landed in. The one with grid and surrounded by square brackets, yes. But what it is, what so our math teacher used to say the one thing. She repeated it over and over and over again, and we just made fun of her quite a bit for it. But she always kept saying that matrix is a table. Have a chapter, yeah. So it's not a huge subject. It's just a funny illustration. So matrix is a table, or matrix, or matrix. I like to say matrix because it's the movie is named Matrix, but I think the actual correct term is matrix. So yeah, it's a table basically. That's what she was kept saying. Matrix is a table, and that's what she. It's matrix, yeah. So database, much the same way. Database is a table as well. Oh, it is matrix, and plural is matrices. Yeah, okay. Okay, that makes sense. So matrix is a table. So in the same way matrix is a table, database is a table as well. Right. Oh, let's see. That's Google table. Yes, this table. Oh, I love it. So yeah, if I were to make a video, this is the joke I would make. That much like matrices, show a matrix movie is a table. Database is also a table. That's the high overview. That's what a database is. It's a table. But yeah, it's I guess the best illustration. I don't really have a nice tool to show this. What's wrong with this? Why is it gray? Do I have a thing open somewhere? I think it just crashed. Oh, it's on another window. Okay. Okay, how many times it will take me to get the password? Right, the first time. Okay, that's good. So I'm not sure if it has a nice way to visualize the database. Let's see. Have anything here? Schema and so on. Right. So yeah, it's hard to say where to start, because I want to start at the beginning, but the beginning is quite far away and it's not all that relevant, but it's not that important. All the meat and potatoes are the tables. Tables and relations between tables. So, but yeah, it's all on the sidebar. Like the actual queries don't really matter at this point to explain what a table is, well, what a database is. So basically, this is, well, what was it called? Schema. Yeah, so right, this is a schema or a database. I haven't actually started following the map. I'll tell you when I find problems. Okay. So what the database is, yeah. I guess I can go views, procedures, functions. Yeah. I guess what's the difference between store procedure and a function? I don't know. Like, these are features you sometimes use once in a blue moon. Yeah, but how does it look like? It looks like a bunch of tables connected with like this. This is how would you visualize a database. Like a Python dictionary? Not really. Something like that, but it's not really accurate description. I wouldn't use that. Oh, what I meant. It's just a table. Excel spreadsheet is more like a better way to describe a database, because the actual data is stored in this format. Like you have, let's say this is the user configurations table, I think. So let's see, user configurations table, and it has columns. It has 4 columns, so each record will have 4 entries, 4 like properties. First one is ID, which is automatically generated. So each time you insert a new entry, well, it's a property of a field, I guess, that you can have fields that you don't actually provide when you create an entry. They just get automatically assigned a certain value. So it's like a default value, but it can be like automatically generated, which usually IDs are, so that you would have a unique ID for each entry. So user ID is an ID from another table where I have users. So it's from users table. So users table have more fields, but so I guess you're familiar with objects. So you can imagine that each table represents a class, and whatever properties are assigned to the class are the columns in the table. So if you take one record from columns, from users, you can create one instance of a user. So if I take a look, I don't really want to show, let's not show user. Can I show user? I guess commit ID is irrelevant. Discord ID might be the one field that it's not readily accessible to other people. But I don't think it really matters. So let's take a look at its data. So this is how it looks. So for each user, so yeah, let's see, user ID 3 is me. So these are the oldest users, like the users that were first added to the database. And like let's select count. So let's count how many users there are in this table at all. So I have 7,200 users. So that's how many users actually interacted with my configuration bot over its lifetime. So there are quite a few users in that table. So each entry represents one user. So if I create an object, for example, I want to have a user object, which I do in my project. Let's see, user. Yeah, so I have a user have its own ID. And if you look at this, well, properties of the user, it will pretty much match one-to-one. Yeah, so user, and so name will come from name in the database, language, payment ID. Oh, it has a payment ID here. Banned. Oh yeah, ban. It's a flag. It's either 0 or a 1. So if I ever ban a user in my application level. So this is like for a feature that's not actually implemented. I just, yeah, did this and never used it. So it doesn't do anything. It's never evaluated. I don't believe. And ban reason is also never provided, since I never banned anyone. It's just for future use, if I want to have ability to ban users from using my application. Ban reason, time created. So all of these fields basically will go into creating an instance of an object. So, and that's how it's done. If we take a look at helper class, that's the one that actually parses the user. I can't find it with a quick scan. These are fields, menu items, user, connect, user bots, disable claim bot. I guess it's here then. Yeah, so this is where I actually get user from the database. So that's what it does. I have, when the user messages me on Discord, I extract his Discord user ID, which is unique for each user. So each Discord user has its own unique Discord ID. So I can use that to find the record I'm looking for in my database. So this is the query that selects that row. So select, well, the star means after the select statement you enter which columns you want to get. And if you provide the star, then it will retrieve all the columns that are possible. So in this case, since I'm selecting from users table, where is it? Here, I will get all of these columns. All of these columns that are listed here will be returned. And since I select and I filter by Discord ID, and the Discord ID is provided here from the parameters, so I will select a user with a specific Discord ID. For example, let's take my Discord ID, copy field unquoted. Actually, quoted is fine. Let's see, so where Discord ID equal to this, right? So yeah, this is what actually will get returned by the database. So it will return this entry to my application. So you always, and that's it. Database is just for storing data and well, for future use. And this is one of the cases where, well, this is part of that future use. Yeah, and there's not much else to it. If you want for basic use, like, looks easy. It is easy, yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, it's nothing complicated, I tell you. Databases are quite simple, especially relational databases. NoSQL databases, they get a little bit more complex because they don't use this strict structure, and yeah, it uses different ways to map the data. So imagine if instead of a table and its columns, you have just a blob of JSON. So basically each record is not separated, doesn't have its own fields, it's just a JSON entry. So there are no columns. It's just there is an entry in the database, and it's just a pile of JSON with whatever data you need to store there. And then, since you can't really, you don't really have IDs. Well, you can have certain IDs. You need to extract IDs in a different way. So there are different strategies how when you insert data, you need to process it to extract something that can be identified, that entry, and so on. So it gets more complicated from what I know with NoSQL databases. But for 99% of functionality, like traditional SQL relational database will do the job. So I wouldn't worry about NoSQL databases unless you need them. You just need to be aware of them and learning them in detail, how they work, all the features they have, and so on, how they work and interact with each other. Like, that's something that can be done on demand, at least in my opinion. And relational databases, since they are used everywhere, and they provide some basic things that are really needed. Well, for example, I have 7,000 users in my user database. So if I store them, for example, in a file, like the file would be quite long, and like finding a user would take a while, because each time you open, you get a message and you want to get the user, like you would need to go through all of the lines in the file and find the line that has the user, and it would be a lot less time efficient. So basically, why the biggest benefit of databases, of relational databases, well, I guess the databases in general, is the speed you get of executing queries. So this entry, finding this entry, took how long? Don't even see. It should say somewhere how long it took. It says it's completed. Am I blind? Pretty sure it should say duration it took. But it's very fast. That's the thing. Even though there are 7,000 users, it will always return the user really fast. So I guess I can search by name. Our name is something like, it's Rishi. But not. What's in the name? What's your name on Discord? Check. It is Rishi. I'm a little bit confused. And in Django. Oh, it doesn't show the... Oh, I guess it doesn't show on when I'm in streaming mode. Yeah, I have no idea why I have never bought bots. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Wait, no, that's not why. I definitely didn't sell 7,000 bots for $5 each. That would be what? 35,000 euros? Yeah, I haven't made nowhere near that. So that's not because of that. If you message the configuration bot at least once, then it stores you in the database. So because the first thing it does, it gets your data from the database, and if the user is not found in the database, it will create the user in the database. I know you did, and I'm confused why I can't find you. I guess I'm doing something wrong. Let's see. Wrong. No, the table is correct. 9 users were named. Oh, I used. Oh, okay, that's the problem. It has to be like this. Yeah, so now it finds, because I was looking for exactly the same name, and your name is not, well, your name is not just your name on Discord that is shown here. It also includes that ID that you can change, like the numbers. You maybe write to hash. Yeah, I would have, but since I don't know the numbers, I can't really look up them because I'm in streaming mode. Those are 2 IDs. So yeah, this is. So yeah, these are the 2 users that have been. No, this what? The first one is not yours. It's been created 2 years ago, almost. Unless you've been here before, quite a while ago. It's mine. So why it's created 2 years ago? Can you explain that? Have you been in my Discord 1.5 years ago? That's what you're saying. More than 1.5 years ago. Not sure. Yeah, exactly, 2 years ago, because I can modify the creation time. I guess if I was messing around, I could have potentially changed that. But the ID is something I wouldn't mess about. And you have like a very nice ID as well, 1337. Maybe then it's not mine. Yeah, I imagine it's not yours in that case, because it doesn't really make much sense in that case. So yeah. So the cool thing is that it lets you... So the database has advantage of operating on data really fast, and relational databases, there is a standardized language, SQL, I don't even remember what's the acronym of SQL. SQL stand for query language, and S, standardized query language, structured query language. So yeah, so SQL is basically a standard which says what kind of operations have to be supported and how they have to be written. Like, let's see. Okay, I don't care. There's a video that we are don't really care about. So these are different implementations that support SQL. So SQL, well, so basically this is how it's supposed to look. So use, and this is so laggy. This website must have a ton of crap in it. Right. Use StemDB. So use is, this is how you select the what's its name? I was talking about it. Not namespace. It's like namespace. Namespace on databases has a separate word. Schema, right? So namespace in database terminology is schema. So when you hear schema, this is how you select. So this is how you can. So these are basically different schemas: Albion Online, Albion DB, CryptoCoin, and Test. All of these are different schemas in the database, and they can store. Well, they have different tables, and these tables have different different columns with their own data inside. So let's say trades, ticker. Ticker is the one that actually has data, and it's currently being filled by another application that's live, well, which is monitoring Bitcoin trades and pushing them into this database. So this is what this database is for example. It's not something I've shown on stream before, I just spoken about this. So yeah, so this is what how schemas, aka in programming terms namespaces, look like, and that's how you actually select that. If you're not well, here I don't really need that. Oh, actually I do. You can either write a whole application. No, you can do use. It's correct. Crypto. It doesn't let me autocomplete crypto coin. So this will make it so all the operations after that. So this says query completed. I'm not sure if it's actually visible, for example. So, and now if I want to select entries from the ticker database, it will know since it's all done in a single session, it remembers that this has been executed. So now I don't really have to provide the namespace. So it's like importing in a code in some way. Like it's similar functionality. So use a certain thing, and go, I guess, is the thing to actually go, meaning to execute the statement. But well, in our case, we just press enter. Well, control enter in MySQL Workbench. Yeah, and this is just a standard which is supported by all databases. All relational databases will accept this with this syntax, which will be enough for 99% of what you will need out of the database. That's why I say that they are pretty much all the same from the user standpoint. As a developer, you all use them in a very similar way, because SQL is a standard which all of them follow. So any database you will pick, you will pick Oracle, and pretty much the same code will run, no problem. Okay, then bye-bye, I'm going to make coffee now, or I'll sleep. Well, I'm finishing the stream anyways, I need to go make lunch. It's already, it's almost 2 p.m. I just need to commit all this code into my Git. I guess that gives you a brief overview of databases, but there are a bunch of cool features databases provide. 5 p.m. in my case. I'm not sure. I think I'll start compiling some examples and what I want to talk about databases, and see how it goes. If it goes fast enough, I guess I'll stream this evening and go into more detail about relational databases with examples, because there are cool features you need to be aware about. Well, you need to be aware of if you're using a database, like indexes, how to make it perform faster, how to write queries, how to combine data from different tables, and so on. Like, these are basic things that you still need to know. Right. But yeah, I think I'm done for this. What is it complaining about? Main class. Okay, so the spaghetti code is not... won't run. I'm fine with that. Let's do the commit. And this is gonna be a huge commit. Right. This has been deleted, which is fine. ConfigBot, that was a new file added, and a bunch of files have been modified, which is all good. 23 files. Wow, it's a big commit. Commit message, extend bot functionality, implementation. Yeah, I'm finally done with this. Let's commit. Still, should sort out my database on the server. Not database, Git server at some point. I should, but I will maybe at some point. Oh, whatever. I'm done for today. Well, for now. Yeah. Thanks for the raid, whoever raided me. I'm very sorry. I'm not really used to receiving raids, so maybe it was a bad form for me to not react properly. Arrow Axie is raiding me with 9 party of 9. Yeah, no. Thanks to him again. That was really cool of him. And I got a couple of new followers, which is always nice. I'm not sure how much how interested they will be, because I usually just stream what I'm working on. It's not, oh, you know, maybe for some people it's interesting to have something. Well, it's like maybe it feels like working in an office or something, except everything that I'm doing, I'm saying what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm not sure. What I don't really well, I'm not sure what kind of value my stream provides. That's what I want to say. Hopefully it does it does provide some value. Hopefully. Right, but yeah, I'm done for now, and yeah. Maybe I'll be back today, and worst case tomorrow.